Good evening, citizens and staff. I'm Mayor Kara Westfall, hereby call to order this council meeting on Monday, July 15th, 2024. Roll call, please.
Counselor Studenberg?
Here.
Counselor Russo? Here. Counselor Khan? Here. Counselor Mueller-Went? Here.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have public comment. At this point, to see Jacob Zarumba. You have 3 minutes.
Awesome. I made copies for everybody for what I'm about to read. Good evening. Thanks for being here tonight and listening to us. I'm Jake Zaremba. I'm the finance director for Empowered Spirits, and I represent our brand, Cherry Blossom Boutique, which we have just opened on Main Street down the road here. I stand before you guys tonight not only as a concerned community member, but also someone deeply invested in the well-being and prosperity of downtown Main Street. Today we gather to address a pressing issue that affects all of us, the challenge of vagrancy and street camping downtown in our downtown city streets. This issue has increasingly impacted our business, residents, and visitors, creating significant challenges that cannot be overlooked. Main Street is more than just a thoroughfare. It's the face of Klamath Falls. It serves as our community front porch, welcoming visitors and showcasing our hospitality and character. The impression that we create on Main Street reflects directly how visitors perceive our community. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. The effects of vagrancy on our community are palpable. Businesses struggle with the safety concerns, cleanliness issues, and diminished ability to attract customers. Residents and visitors feel uneasy navigating our streets, affecting our city's reputation and economic vitality. It's imperative that we as a city align ourselves with this recent legal precedent. The ruling in Grants Pass provides a clear pathway for us to implement and enforce regulations that protect our downtown Main Street while also addressing the complex challenges of our homeless population faces. Today, I call upon the city attorney, the police chief, the city council, and the city manager to collaborate closely. We need proactive measures that uphold the rights of businesses and residents while ensuring compassionate solutions for those experiencing homelessness. This is not just a legal or regulatory issue. It's a community issue that demands our collective attention and action. I'm having a hard enough time as it is. We do a little more reverb. Collective attention and action. Furthermore, our business owners have the bandwidth and the resources to make this issue very visible to the Klamath Falls community. They stand ready to showcase any perceived dereliction of duties by the city employees as they continue to struggle with the impacts of vagrancy and street camping. In closing, let's embrace the community to create a downtown Main Street that reflects the vibrancy and inclusivity of our community by respecting legal rulings and working together. We can achieve a downtown where business thrive, residents feel safe, and everyone can enjoy the welcoming face of Klamath Falls.
Thank you.
Right on the mark.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert Keensit.
Mine is on much on the lighter side, front side. So, if you would. Actually, Councilman, you should be up here as much as me. So we're going to talk about Stefan Sabitas' newest and most recent and wonderful, magnificent project to be unveiled Wednesday. It was installed today. If anybody's not their peek before the film shoot went over. What a great summer for Klamath. We just had the Moore Park playground being opened, the F-15 deal with the 4th, Oregon Mayors, spectacular.
Yes.
Now Wednesday, as a prelude to that, and building into it so they can see it, we have the event and invitation that we're handing out, which is, our pelicans are called the American White Pelicans. And Stefan, I won't tell you how many, you just have to look at the cover as you guess, sneak peek. But anyway, it is a spectacular project. City has been tremendously helpful and supportive all the way through. Mayor Carroll, your enthusiasm is infectious, and we appreciate it immensely. I would like to invite, and I can do this formally with my relationship on Team Savitas, the city council to have a social gathering session where we see what he does, because we're doing one of these projects every year in addition to the great work that you did on the two that you worked so much on. And I got to see it eagerly. It's a little bright. When they come out of the foundry, they're quite bright, and then they get the bronze color, and it just makes them spectacular. But you can see in here, I'm not going to read through all of this, obviously, but just how big and magnificent these are. And the city has contributed $25,000. We didn't get to this along with Sky Lakes and the Wayne Family Foundation. And we're doing this, all the information you need is on the cover. I'll leave a couple of these, if any of you folks would like to come, it's going to be a terrific thing for the community. Wednesday at 5:30, July 17th, in the Commons Park, which they describe as 112 Main Street. You guys, everybody knows where the water display is. It's contiguous to that. It's installed, and it is magnificent. There's nobody like Stefan Savitas, and I think he's one of the very best in the world. I know that, and we're darn privileged to have him in Klamath Falls. So let's keep up the city support. I'm confident the Wayne Family Foundation will be the same for a project every year. We've already got one in play that's a magnificent looking eagle, and talking about ideas and areas for where we could put that. Does anybody have a question for me before I run out of time?
I just think it's great what you're doing, and I'm glad to be part of it.
We can't do it without your support, so thank you so much for that. But let's do that evening social sometime out of Stefan. You'll love it.
Yeah,
He's
I
got
was
a
gonna-
magnificent home. It's just like a museum, and I will do my smoked coconut.
there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Right on
it's
time.
worth doing the tour. It's-
Hope to
I
see
think we could do
some of you or all of you,
Nice.
as many can on that Wednesday.
Super. Thank you very much. Mary Martin.
Wait, can you have assist with that mic?
There you go. Right there.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm here representing the Downtown Community Watch. We're a group that just has formed because there's been no action with the police, and the business owners downtown are really struggling. In the last 2 weeks, I've witnessed many people drinking on Main Street, side streets, alleyways, Sugarman's Corner, and the water park. I've seen drugs being sold, bites, foul language. A newly opened store on Klamath Avenue was recently closed after a homeless man choked her employee. She was only open a few weeks. Main Street Jewelers has had to put up a fence in front of their door because it was constantly being kicked in. A homeless female known as Little Bit, her real name is Sharon, not sure of her last name, pulls up flowers, does destruction to buildings. And 2 nights ago, I observed 8 people sleeping on the sidewalk after 8 o'clock at night, or doorways, from Rodeo's Pizza to the courthouse. I'm asking this council to get an officer that will do downtown patrol, including the alleyways and the side streets. A couple of months ago, we did have an officer come and was walking the streets, but it didn't last. And they think that they're invincible downtown. It's just blatant drinking out in public. Have any of you spent any time walking the downtown, either day or night, you would see it. So I really hope that you will consider getting an officer to do a walk to clean up this mess downtown. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
George Tyson.
Now, I kind of had looked through here.
Hi, City Council, Mayor,
Hello.
Jonathan. Downtown, we have the music store on Main Street, and the downtown should be a beautiful place for citizens and tourists. Mostly it is. A lot of times you're looking, it's just real pretty, but far too often it's not. And it's not part that needs to be corrected. That can be devastating. Only one bad experience can make it so that people don't want to come down. Reputation spreads. So it's that, what you might call the smaller part that is the devastating thing to our businesses. At this time, I blame myself, and I blame us merchants for not getting in here more often and talking to you. We're kind of shy, mostly. We don't like adversarial situations, and that's not what this is going to be. But I do blame us. We have businesses down there, and we want to present them as places people should come to, but we know very well that it's very possible that they're going to have an uncomfortable experience of some type. So I guess at this time, I blame myself. We should be here at every meeting pressing, sorry to use a strong word, but pressing on city council to correct the illegal behavior. Now, I want to make something clear. I don't like it when people say homeless. If somebody strangles somebody, you have no idea knowing if they have a home or not. It's not whether they have a home or not. It's that they tried to strangle somebody. It's the illegal behavior. We keep getting off into this homeless thing as if that's the problem. There's lots of homeless people. The vast majority never do anything wrong. They're just busy trying to find a place to live. It's the illegal behavior, it's the criminal behavior that is concerning. It's the behavior that hurts our buildings, sometimes hurts us, hurts our customers, makes them scared. I won't go into too much detail. I'm not going to go into I got a lot of stories, but I'm not going to, say anything. But it's the behavior that drives tourists and citizens away from downtown. Not all of them, but too many. So it's my hope that we merchants and concerned citizens will start attending city council meetings for the purpose of engaging city council to clean up the present downtown illegal behavior. It's against the law. We've got to enforce those laws because we're truly suffering. And just to go beyond, I don't need to work anymore. I've got a retirement, I'm good. But we kind of enjoy the atmosphere, we enjoy what we do. It's social, but I don't have to work. So I just hope, and a lot of us don't have to work. A lot of us are just down there because, well, we like it. I hope that city council will do everything in their power. I know that there was the recent Supreme Court decision, and it's kind of up in the air now as to what it means, and there's local state laws that might have to be resolved. But there's a lot of illegal behaviors, such as speeding. When we have somebody going down the street 40 miles an hour, that's not good for the people diagonally parking trying to back up. We had a young lady hit by a car and thrown off her bike halfway through the intersection on the 11th and Main. That's something we've all been complaining about for quite some time. I'm not going to go on too much more. I want to be here more often, and I'm going to. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So after seeing no more forms, Scotty, is there any more forms over there?
Online, I mean.
No one is
Online, anybody online? Okay, we will conclude the public hearing, public comment time. 5, consent agenda. 5.1, the approval of the consent agenda, meeting agenda, and prior meeting minutes. 5.2 is salary authorizations for city manager and city attorney effective July 1st, 2024. And 5.3, the acceptance of approximately 550 feet of 8-inch and 180 feet of 12-inch diameter public water main and appurtenance to service tract 1341 11th Avenue, addition to Sunset Village, Phase 2, a 9-lot residential medium-density subdivision. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 6, general public hearing, 6.1, a liquor license recommendation for Chipotle Mexican Restaurant to be located at 2508 South Sixth Street, Suite 8, and Planning Manager Joe Wall reviewing.
Good evening. I heard some people may be interested in this one, so very good. What we have here, I think everybody's fairly familiar with the site. Driving by on an almost daily basis, you see the renovation work that's occurring. So this is the former Sizzler space that has been shuttered for a few years, but it's being partitioned into 3 different businesses. One of them has been named Chipotle. There would be 2 other tenants to be named in the future. At this point, things are progressing along pretty well, and a liquor license and business application has been submitted to the planning office. As we always do, we bring the liquor licenses in front of city council. We hold a public hearing in case anybody would like to speak. We send out notice to the police department and neighbors. We didn't get any negative comments related to this. So at this time, what Chipotle has requested is a limited on premises. So basically, thinking Mexican beers and other things from experience, but sidebar. With that, I'll open it up for a public hearing or any further questions.
So
Thank you.
it's Beer and wine?
Correct.
Any more questions or comments? I'd like to open for a public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak on this agenda item can do so at this time. Anybody online? Seeing and hearing nobody, we will close that. We'll entertain a motion.
I have a 14-year-old at home who is only interested in local government because of this. And he asks me weekly if there's any news on Chipotle opening here in Clements. So I would really love to move to recommend the allowance of limited on-premises alcohol sales to the OLCC for Chipotle Mexican Grill to be located at 2508 South Sixth Street, Suite A.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good, thank you. 7, legislative action, 7.1. The approval of the intergovernmental agreement, IGA, with the Klamath County for the construction and operation of a proposed water fill station. And Water Manager Robbie West.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and Council. So this is one that's been ongoing for a little bit. We've come to you guys about the last 3 summers to discuss this. So previously, when we saw issues in the area with folks with their private wells going dry, we came forward with the MOU. And we've been working in a joint effort with the city, state, and county to provide water through the county with that MOU for those dry wells. It sounds like some of that's coming to an end, and we've had multiple discussions on this, and we've talked about moving forward with another joint effort with the county on this IGA to put in a water fill stand. And so what this will do is help to establish the rules between us and the county, who's responsible for what. If you guys do approve this IGA tonight, we'll get started working on the scope of work, get moving forward on that, and we'll bring that back to you guys as well. I do think it's important to note that you can see in here too that the funding for this is coming from the county, but the city ultimately will be responsible for the operations and maintenance costs moving forward. So we're happy to answer any questions if you guys have any.
Questions, comments? Go ahead,
I just
Counselor.
have a comment. Thank you so much for all of the work that you've put into this. I know this has been months of research and back and forths, and you know, we don't make your guys' job any easier by all the questions we ask. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I love seeing this precedence being set that we're working with the county and trying to benefit our entire community as a whole. So thank you, Robbie, for all your work.
Absolutely, glad we can, help move kind of everybody's vision forward, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions or comments? I will entertain a motion.
I'll move to authorize the city manager to execute an intergovernmental agreement with Klamath County for the construction and operation of a proposed water fill station.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. 7.2, the authorization of a consultant service contract with RH2 Engineering Incorporated for the design of the South Sixth Street Booster Pump Station project in the not-to-exceed amount of $306,068. City Engineer Andrew Lakey.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. If you remember, this is a continuation of the South Sixth Street Booster Station project. We hired RH2 Engineering to perform a technical analysis of what we actually needed in the pump station, sizing pumps and pipes, to be able to push adequate water from Conger Well Field, basically east of the A Canal. And that memo came back. We have a basic footprint and spec in place. We approached Klamath County and were able to purchase a small piece of the previous park for the location of the pump station itself. From that, we put out a request for proposals for design services, excuse me, to actually design the station based off of technical memo. RH2 came back with the proposal that was chosen. It basically includes 475 feet of bore line that goes across South Sixth Street to the booster station, and then a discharge line that runs all the way over towards the canal. Our process basically is to advertise the RFP, select a consultant, negotiate price with them, and we have done that now. And we're coming to you with a design services contract in the amount of $306,068 to perform those services. Any questions?
Comments or questions? I will entertain a motion.
I move to authorize the city manager to execute a consultant services contract with RH2 Engineering, Inc. for design services for the South Sixth Street Booster Pump Station in a not to exceed amount of $306,068.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good, thank you. 7.3, authorization of a construction service contract with Bob's Excavating Incorporated for the Arthur Street and Alva Avenue Water Main Replacement Project in the amount of $1,328,715, plus a contingency allowance of $199,307. Assistant City Engineer Gwen Jones.
Evening, Mayor, Council. So currently the water main in Arthur and Alva is a combination of undersized 2-inch and 8-inch lines. The 2-inch lines are frequently in need of repairs and they're a large operational expense. By replacing these lines, we're reducing unaccounted for water losses, we're lowering maintenance costs, and we're facilitating the construction of more fire hydrants in the area. So in addition to replacing almost 2,700 feet of pipe, this project also includes installing 330 feet of new pipe that'll tie into the proposed South Sixth Street Booster Station. So the main objective of this project is to get water to the South Sixth Street Booster Station through an alternate route. Upgrading these lines to 8-inch pipes allows water to be pulled from Shasta Way and relieves some of the stress of the South Sixth Street Altamont portion of the system. It also provides redundancy, which will allow the station to keep running when main lines have to be shut down for maintenance or services. So in May of this year, Council approved a design services contract with Atkins Engineering, and since then we publicly advertised a formal solicitation to bid. We held a pre-bid meeting. We had one bid received and bid publicly, and we issued a notice of intention to award. Most of the funding for this project is designated in the water capital outlay for the current biennium. The remaining of the funding will utilize available funds from the Center Reservoir project, since the construction portion of that project is not going to take place in this biennium. So tonight we're asking you to approve a construction contract for the Arthur Alva Water Main Replacement Project. Questions?
Questions or comments? Councilor McClung?
Just a comment, thank you for explaining the purpose of the project in plain language. Because in this room, it seems like it's just us at times, but it's a public meeting and it's on YouTube. And when big amounts of money are being spent, it's really helpful to take an extra minute to say in very plain language, this is what this will accomplish. So thank you for that.
Very good.
Thank you.
I will entertain a motion if there are no more comments.
I'll motion for the authorization of a construction services contract with Bob's Excavating, Inc. for the Arthur Street and Alva Avenue Water Main Replacement Project in the amount of $1,328,715, plus a contingency allowance of $199,307.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Number 9.1. Oh, wait a minute. 8. That's right, 8.1. Salary authorization for municipal court judge effective July 1st, 2024. And we have HR Supervisor Tony Thompson.
Good evening, council and mayor. I recommend approval to move forward with what was discussed and evaluated with a 5% monthly increase of $2,088.19 plus a one-time $3,000 bonus.
Questions or comments? I will entertain a motion.
Are we moving to approve the salary recommendation from the city? Is that the correct one? As presented? Okay.
So, yeah.
As presented from Tony in the city council executive session held prior to July 15th, 2024 council meeting?
Second.
Did you get the second?
I'm
I'll concede.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good, thank you. 9.1, wait a minute, any other matters?
Can I just
Counselor
wanna
Mueller-White?
I just want to circle back on the comments made by our downtown business owners. And I've been meaning to touch base back with the chief, but we have been talking about different ways to try and approach this, whether it's policy-based or even an additional officer that would work with the code enforcement officer downtown. I have, we've had just background conversations, so I just did want to touch base that we have been trying to work on solutions around the downtown crime that has been occurring, but we're really trying to look at root issues, specifically looking at like a quality of living type of officer position. So I don't know if Chief wants to touch on that since he's the expert, but I do want to I do want to acknowledge that the police department is trying to come up with creative solutions on how to mitigate some of that. That came up tonight in 3 different public comments, so.
Yeah, we've been working quite judiciously with everything going on downtown. I realize that there are a lot of concerns from business owners downtown. I can assure you that downtown gets absolutely more patrol than any place else in the city. We're working on some other parts of enforcement where we can maybe bring code enforcement and a uniformed officer together to have more of a presence downtown. A lot of that can't transpire until we big shifts again, which will be sometime in October. So that's the vision now, is to put more of a uniformed officer and somebody with Stephanie to have more of a presence, and not just downtown, but citywide. So we are looking at some things.
Yes, very good, thank you.
I'd also like to make a comment.
Go ahead.
I also
Counselor.
agree with Kelsey. I think it's imperative that our businesses downtown feel supported. And I had a positive conversation with Jonathan about that today. So it has been on our minds as well. And I appreciate the commentary from the public. And also I encourage people to come in and talk to us on a regular basis to express the things that they're experiencing so that we know and can have those conversations going forward as well.
Any other comment or question? Okay, I will entertain a adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting is adjourned.